And welcome back everybody to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel, except we're not on the Miami Boat Ramps channel. We are over on my main channel, Broncos Guru. And of course, for those of you who don't know, we actually do have another channel called Miami Boat Ramps that focuses on all the hilarity that happens to the boat ramps in South Florida, but we're always scouting for other ramps. And today we're going to take a look at a different ramp. And if you can't tell by the images here, this is actually the international version of us scouting, as this is not in the United States, and this is actually at Torquay Marina in Devon, England. Our cameraman on this one is Brian Tonks. And here we can see that we've got some people who are trying to get a vessel reloaded, but you can tell they're not doing it the traditional way. And if you kind of watch the boat, you're going to see it's got quite a bit of lean to it depending on where they shift the weight. And that's because this vessel is filling up with water. These guys have launched the vessel here at the marina, and unfortunately, one of two things has happened. And the first one is either they're not subscribed to this channel and we've stole their drain plug, which is a quick reminder to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, or they've just forgotten to insert the drain plug when they were leaving. And one way to avoid that as well is to go ahead and make sure you buy your Drain Plug Mafia sticker. If you buy one of those and put it on your boat, you're almost always going to remember to put that drain plug in. But either which way, these guys have forgotten it, and this vessel's taking on water. One of the reasons I'm showing this, though, is because a lot of times when I see people down at marinas, boat ramps, or wherever, and they've forgotten the drain plug, people go into panic mode. And I'm showing you this just to realize that you've got time. These guys actually are handling it fairly calmly. They don't appear to be running around. They're not overly rushed. They're just kind of going through the motions of how we're going to get this vessel back onto the trailer so we can get it back up the ramp to go ahead and get the water back out of the boat. And but it's going to take quite some time from that small hole in the drain plug for this vessel actually to fill up with enough water to sink it. I mean, it does happen, but the reality is if you catch it early enough, kind of like this crew's caught it here, at the ramp you can get this vessel pulled back out. And you do have other options as well. You don't have to rush to scramble to the car or the truck and try and get your boat pulled back out of the water. One of the first things you can do is if you have access to it and you realize the drain plug's not in there and you still have the drain plug, you're probably better off to try and get the drain plug back in rather than even trying to pull the vessel out and letting the bilge pumps clear the water. That should take you less time unless you just happen to be still on the ramp, your truck and trailer are still in the water. But other than that, if you've pulled off to a dock or something like that, just stop, collect your thoughts for a few moments, make sure your bilge pump's working, and then go ahead and dive in the water and see if you can get the drain plug back in. Now, if for some reason you can't find the drain plug, you don't have the drain plug with you, you think it's just going to be too complicated to get the drain plug in, well, you still have other choices as well. I mean, you basically just got to get something in that hole to even slow down the pace the water's coming in to give you more time to do whatever you want to do. So, I mean, if you have just a rag on your boat that you use to wipe down the seats or something like that, you literally can jump in the water with that rag and just start stuffing it into the hole. And you'll be surprised how much that, especially once the rag gets soaked, will stop the entry of water into the vessel through the drain plug hole as well. So there are a bunch of different options. Heck, I've even seen people post things about using feminine hygiene products in a pinch to be able to close a drain plug. So there are a million ways to do it. But one of the biggest things you need to do in this situation is not to panic. You really just want to collect your thoughts, put a game plan together, and go ahead and try and execute that game plan just like this crew's doing down here. Because one of the worst things you can do is go into a panic, and you're probably going to take a whole lot longer to get things done if you do get into that panic situation. Because you're just not going to be thinking straightly, and you're a whole lot more likely to mess something up. Or possibly even have somebody get injured or any number of things if you're really running around and rushing a lot. And as you can tell in this crew, in just a few minutes, our vessel's not sunk. I'm imagining where it's sitting that we're still not filled up in the engine compartment even. So that's one of the other keys. When you've got an inboard outboard like this, you'll want to make sure you get it out of the water before the water gets up to maybe the air filter in the motor. That way you don't get any water ingestion into the motor as well. So depending on the type of vessel, you might have a little different things you have to look at also when you're doing this. But this crew, for the most part, has this vessel up on a trailer and they're pulling out. I mean, so we're already out of the water within just a few minutes, no vessel sinking, and now we're probably just going to see water running everywhere as they have to let this drain back out on the ramp. But really the purpose of me sharing this video with you guys is just so you understand that things sometimes do happen fast out on the water, absolutely, but this is one of those situations that typically doesn't happen that fast, and you've got time to think about an approach and kind of put together a game plan and make sure you get this taken care of like this crew did. And my hat's off to this crew. They really did. They did an excellent job, and that's one of the reasons I just shared the videos, just because I want you to know what to do if you ever find yourself in this situation as well. I know this is not really a traditional video that we put up on my channel, but I just wanted to share this one because it's still got educational value, and a lot of the times when I'm finding these fails and various things that are going on, and people send me stuff, I always look for the teaching moment in it to where I can help you guys out in your boating lifetime, and even help me out sometimes, because it's always a good reminder to see things like this. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you like this kind of content, also be sure to check out our channel, Miami Boat Ramps, as you may enjoy that content as well. And if you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here, just like Brian Tonks did. Thanks for watching.